Here. Today's topic is describe an occasion when you got up extremely early. Okay, so this is an IELTS latest IELTS topic, so you might encounter them in the recent exam, like the date is over here till 30 April and 2022. It not necessarily it will be happening within the date. It might come after the date as well. So you can try, you can listen to. And if you want to get the best results out of it, you have to listen more than, I would say, 10 times or 20 times or even more, with understanding, of course. If you don't understand a word, please look up the word into the dictionary. It's really important. Without understanding, if you listen to, then it's really pointless, I would say. So, my dear brothers and sisters, now let's get started. So, the topic, describe an occasion when you got up extremely early, okay? Extremely early. So within the topic you have to cover when this happened and what you needed to do on that day, and who you are with and how you felt about getting early on that day. And basically part 2 will be getting up early within the topic. Okay, now we have got 3 parts: look, vocabulary, ideas, and answer, sample answer. Okay, so vocabulary would be very okay, to wake up at very last minute, to wake up at the very last minute, to wake up at the very last minute, to wake up early voluntarily, to wake up early voluntarily, not to be used to getting up early, not to be used to getting up early, not to be used to getting up early, to feel drowsy, to feel drowsy. I'm repeating it because this video is for listening. You can watch for the understanding. At the same time, you will look into the dictionary if you don't understand a word, and when you are done with understanding, then listen 20 times, 30 times to get the best results. And this will help you to get a good bandage score, more than 7. I'd say more than 7. Okay, this part is the most important part of the this topic. You know, ideas will give you an ability to speak fluently, to speak powerfully, automatically, and it will build up your vocabulary, grammatical, a lot of grammatical structures and everything. So put emphasis on, it's better to memorize ideas. If you memorize them and if you speak them naturally, then you're going to get a bandage score. So memorizing and then listening a lot will give you a natural ability to speak in English. Number 1, memorizing. Number 1, understanding. Number 2, memorizing. And number 3, deep learning with the repetition. Repeat learning, like repeatedly you are listening to the video or audio. You can convert it to the audio if you want. And so this is how you can play it in the background. Like you can use MX Player, go to the Play Store and download MX Player and select loop 1 in the setting and repeatedly play it in the audio with understanding. And you will see the tremendous improvement happening. A lot of people don't know how to improve the IELTS bandage score in terms of speaking, basically. So the first question, why did you have to get up early? Why did you have to get up early in the past situation? You know, on that day I was going to have an early flight. On that day, early flight. On that day I was going to have an early flight. I had to meet my friend or relative at the airport. On that day, I had to meet my friend or relative at the airport. I had to meet my friend or relative at the train or bus station. I had to meet my friend at the train or bus station. I had to set off on an excursion early as our destination was far from us. I had to set off an excursion early as our destination was far from us. Organized an event, so I had to arrive at the venue before the participants started gathering. Organized an event, so I had to arrive at the venue before participants started gathering. I was getting married and had to prepare for the wedding ceremony. I was getting married and had to prepare for the wedding ceremony. Prepared a surprise for somebody and wanted to get everything ready before they woke up. Prepared a surprise for somebody and wanted to get everything ready before they woke up. Had to finish an important task which I couldn't complete the day before. Had to finish an important task which I couldn't finish the day before. wanted to observe the sunrise. So wanted to observe the sunrise. Wanted to observe the sunrise. Okay. Now the next question comes is, when did this happen? When did that event happen? Actually, that was the topic. Okay. When I was on holiday. When I was on holiday. When I was on the bus trip. When I was on a bus trip before my journey started. Recently, more than X years ago. More than X years ago. It could be certain times like 5 years, 4 years, 3 years. It could be anything. A couple of days, weeks, months, or years ago. A couple of days, weeks, or months, or years ago. A several days, weeks, months, and years ago. A several days, weeks, months, and years ago. A long time ago. A long time ago. A long time ago. A long while ago. In my childhood. In my childhood. Okay. Who are you with? Who are you with? Alone. With my friends, with my best friend, with my boyfriend or girlfriend, with my family, my father or mother, my grandmother, okay, you name it, my uncle, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my husband or wife, one of my distant relatives, with my colleagues. The spelling COEES. So spelling is important because when it comes to writing. Okay. How did you feel about getting up early? Getting up early on that day. How did you feel about getting up early on that day? So, being angry, I was angry with myself. I was angry with myself. I was mad at myself. I was furious. I was furious. I was irritated. I was more than upset. Reasons to be angry. I was angry because I wanted to sleep badly. Reasons to be angry. I was angry because I wanted to sleep early. I had never been a person who could wake up early voluntarily. I had never been a person who could wake up early voluntarily. Had never been an early bird, a person that likes getting up late, getting up early, a person that likes getting up early bird. So you are not that type. You don't want to be an early bird. Okay. Felt restless. You felt restless. You woke up at very last minute and was afraid to be late. You woke up at the very last minute and was afraid to be late. You woke up at the very last minute afraid to be late. And had to make a mad rush out of home. Had to make a mad rush out of home. Had to make a mad rush out. Mad rush out at home. Hadn't packed something. Woke up at the very last minute and then scampered around the house and to get ready. Woke up at very last minute, scampered around the house to get ready, though I had promised to myself to do it the day before without being in a hurry. I wasn't used to getting up so early, so I felt drowsy and disoriented. I was like a zombie, didn't realize what was going on. Being happy. I was happy despite the fact that I had to wake up so much. I couldn't wait to start a journey. I was happy despite the fact that I had to wake up so early, as I couldn't wait to start a journey. Had been looking forward to this event for a long time. Didn't mind waking up early as I went to bed early the previous day and therefore slept enough and felt rested. So this is ideas. Ideas is very important. Like I told, you have to memorize or listen or repeat it after me so that you can have a good grip over ideas. If you have a good ideas, you can speak easily, effortlessly. Now the sample answer will do some good. So this is the answer for describe an occasion when you got up extremely early. So I've never considered myself a person who would wake up early voluntarily, feeling rested and energetic. So a couple of months ago, when my friends and I were planning a trip, I found out that we would have an early flight at 5 a.m. to be exact. The piece of news made me more than upset. To my horror, this was the only available flight at a reasonable price back then. Therefore, nobody was going to take into account being disappointed. I had to meet my friends at 3 a.m. at the airport. Although the recommended arrival time at the airport prior to the departure of international flights is 3 hours. I was happy all of them understood there wasn't much sense coming so early and queuing there, so I could have 1 more hour of sleep. As I expected on the departure day, I woke up at very last minute and then scampered around the house to get ready. Though I had promised to myself to do it the day before without being in a hurry, I had to make a mad rush out of home, being afraid to be late. So you can just imagine when I got to the airport, I was angry with myself and everyone around. Needless to say, I felt drowsy and disoriented, just like a zombie. I wasn't used to getting up so early. Then I found out I hadn't packed my swimsuit. For me, that was a disaster. I was irritated that, frankly speaking, I wished we had spent more money instead of working early. Okay, so this is the band 6 grammar here, because if you want to judge, we have come across, I have never considered. So my friends and I were planning a trip, past continuous. Nobody was going to take into account, and I had to meet my friends. There wasn't much sense coming as a gerund. I could have, and you can see +7 vocabulary also been used. A person who would wake up early, conditional type 1. A person who would never wake up early. I found out that we would have an early flight, sequence of tenses. We found out that we would have, look, the sequence past and then would, okay, have an early flight, a sequence of tenses. All of them understood there wasn't much sense, sequence of tenses. I woke up, though I had promised, this past perfect, and I wasn't used to getting up early. Okay, I found out I hadn't packed. I wished we had spent more money. So that's pretty much it. Now if you want to get a good result out of it, please listen as many times as possible. Thank you very much.